Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining today. My name is Bryn Hogan. I'm with the product side of our company as a product manager and going to take you through our work order, preventive maintenance, and also inspections today within Prism. So the first thing you'll notice when you log in, you have a dashboard view of all the ongoing activity in regards to work orders. So I can see everything that I'm assigned to. I can see how the rest of the tasks have been distributed out to the team by assignee. I have insight into anything unacknowledged and also on hold or unassigned in case I need to intervene there and move them forward in the process. If I need to create a work order, I have that quick action here to jump in, go through the process of creating that, simply grab my my property, and then also I can submit it on my own behalf or pick, in this case, Alice's home design, and also choose to request it for Alice if she's picked up the phone and called me. The system knows what floor and suite Alice's home design's in, so that automatically populates here. And then I have the option to submit what work request it's for. So in this case, let's go with trash removal. We're going to leave it unassigned. Otherwise, if I've created rules for how work orders should be distributed, that would take into effect here and assign to the right person. In this case, I'm going to say, please clean out the trash. Once I submit that, I have the option to quickly clone it to go down the path of creating another one, or I can edit it. And then I have my actual work order dashboard view that shows me everything going on. So not just elevating kind of certain information, but being able to view all of it in one place. I can jump in here. I can go in and specifically view all of the recently completed items. And I have some further filter actions that will let me come in and say, for example, I just want to see everything that I expect to be billed. I'm able to define that on the issue type level at the building, so I know that I'm not missing anything that should have a billable item associated with it, but doesn't. So I can see everything that's expected to be billed, and then for charges, I can also come in here and say, just show me everything that doesn't have charges, so I can really hone in and make sure I'm doing the right thing here before closing them out. If we jump into this work order, I can see all of the information around it. It's an HVAC overtime. I can jump in and view the labor and materials associated, make edits if I need to there. And I'm also able to see any equipment that potentially was part of this work request. I don't have any photos here, but if I did, I'd be able to view any photos, any files associated, and at any point in time, I can add documentation here that will become associated with the work order that I can reference after the fact. And we'll note that Miss Alice Anderson has given us a 5-point rating. If it were anything less, if I had a 1 or a 2-star, I could reach out to Alice. We could have a conversation. I can see what it is that wasn't pleasant about her experience with this work order being completed. And then if we jump over into our equipment, you're able to track and maintain all of your assets that you have within the property. You can see I have my air handler units here. If I jump in to view that, I have all the information regarding manufacturer, model, serial number. I can again associate photos here, but most importantly, I can view all of the service history. So the preventive maintenance that's been done for this piece of equipment, as well as any on-demand work that had to happen, such as these work orders. I have one that's new and one that's open. If we come into that preventive maintenance side of the house, I can see all of the procedures I've set up as standards for how I maintain my equipment, and then the schedules that I've created off of those for the correct cadence for each piece of equipment for how it needs to be maintained. If we come in, I have an AHU quarterly here. I can see it's in draft mode. I can make edits if I need to. I can individually opt certain types of equipment out of that schedule or opt them in. And if I need to, I can edit who the assignee is or who the start date is. And all of that will show up as tasks here. So you have your whole task list of what's ongoing, all of that available on the mobile device as well as on web. And lastly is our inspections, again, kind of similar to some extent to preventive in terms of being on a schedule, being able to define it up front, And so in this case, you can come in here, create your templates for how they should look and feel, what the questions are, what the sections are, what the responses are that you accept. And then that will generate all of the tasks, the inspections per property, per template, and you'll have insight into the progress for each, as well as being able to complete it on web or also on mobile. So if we come in here, we can view an active task. I'm 50% complete here. I can go through the process of finishing this, completing it. I can see all of the history of what's going on with this active task, as well as the work orders created from it in order to correct the issues I've found, and a photo gallery of all the different photos I've taken for this inspection. Once you have gone through the completion process there, and we look at an inspection that has been completed, and maybe there's a couple others in the series, I can jump in and view for that inspection an actual kind of preview summary of what happened there. So we look at our preview page, you have the property information available at the top here, and then you have some key metrics that we're tracking to help you understand property performance. So the first piece here is overall summary of what's gone on, what questions did you complete versus all of the questions available. So I have 3 incomplete here. Your total series completion compliance. So if you expect to have a monthly schedule for an inspection, you get to the end of the year and you've only completed 9 out of the 12, you'll see that completion compliance, as well as how many came in overdue. We'll let you know all of the work orders you created within this inspection, and most importantly here, we can see the number of work orders created in response to the number of negative replies you had in your questions. So in this case, I had 2 negative replies, and I only created 1 work order to address that. We'll also let you know, in this case, you're seeing not applicable here, but as I start to have a series happening, I'll get a trend report on how far off I am from the last inspection on my positive responses and negative responses. So you can see if you're moving in the right direction on decreasing negatives, increasing positive responses. And then of course, just the basic information where we break it out by section, let you know how you responded, and give you all of the notes, work orders, photos, all of that. So we can see here for weed pest control, I did create a pest control work order, and I attached a photo in this case. And then of course you can download that, share it with your team as needed in order to address issues that you've identified, or just to have on file for proof of that inspection.